Hi, everyone. I wanted to jump on here right quick and talk a little bit more about the CPHQ. I know that in a previous video, I talked about how getting the CPHQ was not required for a job, and that is true. But I do get a lot of questions about it, so I thought I'd create another video to go in a little more detail. So, the CPHQ is the Certified Professional in Healthcare Quality, and it is a certification that is given or distributed by the National Association for Healthcare Quality. So it is a certification that obviously that is earned. You have to take a test, a proctored test in order to achieve that certification. But it is one of the healthcare quality certifications that's available. There are others. One of them is the Certified Professional in Patient Safety, the the CPPS, which is through IHI, which is the Institute for Healthcare Improvement. But that's another video for another day. So the CPHQ validates knowledge in the healthcare quality industry. It demonstrates that you understand lingo and that you can apply the concepts. So you don't need it to get most jobs in healthcare quality, but it does validate your knowledge if you have been in healthcare quality for a certain period of time. You can be a clinician and achieve the certification, but you don't have to be. You can have a business degree or a different background altogether and still sit for the exam. Um, so my story with it is I was in healthcare quality for about 6 years before I decided to get the certification in 2020. I studied for 6 weeks. The test has since changed since I took it, so it may be a little bit different in the test makeup than what I'm telling you, but the concepts are the same. So I studied for 6 weeks. I took practice tests that the NAHQ, the National Association for Healthcare Quality, offered, and then I studied what I didn't know, and then took the practice test again and went back and forth like that over those 6 weeks. For the things that I didn't know, I used Google and YouTube to look up the information to learn. And the things that I really struggled with, scored lower on the practice test, were the types of teams and team development. So I studied that, and then how to use the different quality tools or how to display data differently, like a run chart or Pareto chart or a histogram, and all those different ways that you can display data. The test did ask quite a few questions on that. The test also embodies all sectors of the healthcare system, so acute care, skilled nursing, accreditation, and regulatory. So it's very broad in its scope, and it's not just for one part of the healthcare quality system. I think a lot of times, excuse me, when we think about healthcare quality, we think about the acute care hospital system, but it's so much more than that. And the test shows that by how it asks the questions. It talks about the different types of regulatory agencies that's out there. So Joint Commission and Medicare and DNV and there are lots of different organizations that provide accreditation or regulatory oversight for for the healthcare system. So it's good to know a lot about different areas within the continuum of care. The certification lasts for 2 years. The test is proctored virtually, so someone is watching you take the test, so to speak, to make sure that they protect the integrity of the test. Some of the questions are graded, some of the questions are um, sample questions or practice questions, and you don't know which questions are which. And then, of course, you have a threshold to pass. If I had to do it again, would I do it again? Absolutely, I would. And I plan to keep my certification. So I plan to continue to renew it. And you do have to have certain amount of continuing education units in order to keep the certification. If you have more questions, more specific questions, you can definitely reach out to me. I'm happy to answer. But that was my journey. I studied for 6 weeks, used Google and YouTube, and took lots of practice tests to see what areas I needed more help with. And then I studied those things so that I really focused versus trying to study everything. The other thing I'll say right quick is I did not buy any of the books or the recommended books. I didn't take any classes to prepare for the exam. Some people did. I have friends that did. All of that is great. I just didn't in the 6 weeks that I decided to study for it. And again, I had been in healthcare quality for some years, so I understood a lot of the lingo and um, how to use some of the concepts. And so I think that helped me to do better on the test without having to study for a long time. But again, if you have questions or specific things that I can answer for you or help you with, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Talk to you later.